What's up everybody, my name's Big Cam and welcome back to another Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And we are now in the month of May, and I believe May 2nd and 3rd will be this weekend. So Monday will be May the 4th, be with y'all. And hopefully I'll be doing a bunch of Star Wars content for you guys this month. I know May 22nd, The Mandalorian and Grogu comes out next week. So starting May 4th will be the finale episode of Maul Shadow Lords. Those videos will be dropping next week as well. But in today's Star Wars figure unboxing, if you guys saw the title and thumbnail, you know that we are unboxing KYLO REN, the Star Wars MMS 560. It doesn't necessarily say which movie this is from. Maybe Force Awakens, maybe one of the other ones. Possibly another one. Ooh, look at the back of the box there. That's a pretty sick looking art. You can see the red stormtroopers behind them. That looks cool. The like cracked mask of KYLO REN, his cloak, his three-bladed lightsaber, right? Like there was a two-bladed Darth Maul lightsaber for a long time, but then they gave us this like cross hilt, you know, with like the two smaller burning embers coming out of either side. Like his kyber crystal is so angry that it's spewing out red, angry lightsaber out of either port on the sides. Like, such a cool design, such a good character. But is it a good movie? I don't know. I stand by Force Awakens. I think that's a pretty incredible movie, but it also could just feel like nostalgia incredible. You know what I mean? Like it's just got so many memories and vibes from the other movies, plus you're getting these new characters. But then the route that they went for the final two movies and how they did Luke Skywalker's character, I really wasn't there for that. But the KYLO REN, Poe Dameron, Finn, Rey, I'm kind of here for them, you know, and being back together with Chewie and an older Han, like that felt right. But yeah, let's not waste any more time, not seeing too much else details on this box, so let's pop off this top here. And this was a figure I got from my local comic book shop, so I got it for a nice deal, but I believe the batteries don't work in this figure, so hopefully I have the correct size, because I do have a couple spares, so hopefully I have the right amount of batteries and the right size to be able to turn on that head sculpt, because I kind of want to see how that cracked KYLO REN mask glows, you know, and see how good it looks. But they have one of those cardboard tops. Peel that off there, pop off the top of this plastic lid here. Oh yeah, so we got our boy KYLO REN fresh out of the box, some relaxed hands on either side. His like outfit, he's got like this ribbed black outfit, mesh feeling kind of material, windbreaker feeling pants. You can almost hear how windbreaker material that is. Probably in the movie when he was walking, you heard a lot of like that, you know, like, you guys know, when you got that track pant material and you guys would walk around, you just hear all day. Nice looking boots. No split cut boot design for the ankles, so not very posable for the feet, so we'll have to get creative there. But he does come with the cloak on and the mask and like the hood. Can the hood go up? The hood looks pretty good actually. Sometimes the hoods do not look very good, but yeah, ooh, it has a Adam Driver head sculpt here still in the bag. That's nice. Ooh. Ooh. I didn't expect that to look as good as it does. You can't even tell me. I'll get a closer shot for you guys, but that is 100% Adam Driver, and it's got the scar over the eye. Like, ooh, that looks cool. But didn't he get that scar after the fact? Like, didn't he get that scar at the end of Force Awakens? So maybe this is like The Last Jedi or whatever the other movies' titles are. But yeah, so hopefully there's some batteries I have for those, but let's just take a look at the lightsaber. Oh, freaking so cool. Freaking laser beams. Oh, God, so cool. This is my first Star Wars, oh no, this is a lie. Well, is General Grievous a Sith? Kinda? He's a droid, fuck him. So this is my first Sith, right? Like, I've yet to get a Jedi, so I'm gonna need to get a Jedi soon to have some blue and green lightsabers. Or my favorite, friggin' purple, like Mace Windu there. Love that guy. But, my goodness. That is a cool looking lightsaber, but I like how they do the light up version of this lightsaber, right? Like, cause you can have them just standing there, no lights, but then you can put the lights in this arm and it like, you can flip this switch right here on, and then you can even see a little bit, and then that's how, you know, like the hilt is already in the hand, and that's how they light it up. I'm like, oh, that's a nice little idea, nice little touch there. I'm pretty here for that. And then it just plugs into the elbow right underneath the sleeve. Yeah, so I think that should work. A nice touch, although I don't think the batteries will last very long, so I probably won't keep the light up lightsaber, you know, in there the whole time, but I will at least be able to light up the lightsaber the one time, which is all I really care about. My characters, because I don't like them up on the shelves, maybe one day I would like to have everything hooked up with, like, you know, electronics and whatnot, to have everything lit up all the time. But I also want to be able to, like, turn it off when I leave the room. You know, I don't want to just be wasting electricity either, you know, so I don't have any of my figures lit up. But during the photo segment in like the actual posing of the characters, I want them to look how they're supposed to, so I always want them to light up. Although right after I'm done recording, I turn off all that lights and probably never touch them again. But you know, who knows? Maybe one day I'll get bored and turn on all my lights and get those like fusion reactor kits to have everything lit up at all times and really go through the effort to do that. But I'm not quite there yet at the current moment. What we're gonna do now, though, is let's take out all of the accessories that Mr. KYLO REN comes with and take a closer look for you guys at everything in this box here, his base, the lightsaber, the character himself, the Adam Driver head sculpt, and we'll lay this out all in front of me here on the desk and take a closer look at everything that KYLO REN has to offer.
All right, everybody, we have KYLO REN in front of us here, and down by his accessories. Doesn't come with much, but you can see he comes with a couple of fist hands, 2 lightsaber hands for either side, and then he comes with a force-pushing hand, but only for the left hand, which I found interesting. So he must always wield his lightsaber on the right side. That's why there's that lightsaber hook there, and that's the, you know, empty hilt. But if I wanted to plug in those lightsaber effects to that hilt, I very much so could. But this arm plugs in for some light up effects. And you can see there, you can plug in the batteries and turn on the lights. So I'll flip that switch there. And now you have a light up lightsaber, which doesn't look that good, especially down by the tip of the lightsaber. And, you know, maybe the glow on this part here looks okay, but not quite exactly what you want from a lightsaber. But I guess in person it looks better than it does on camera. You know, you can actually buy that this is a lightsaber in person here. But I have a feeling if I go and get some like fusion reactor lightsabers, I think that's what they're called, fusion reactors, is like this company that makes aftermarket lightsaber hilts that light up so much better. So maybe I'll have to go get me a couple of those, you know, for like Darth Vader's lightsaber and for KYLO REN's here. But for fresh out of the box from Hot Toys, I'm not too mad at that. But just turn that off for the moment to save the batteries. And the Adam Driver head sculpt for KYLO REN looks really good. I mean, you can see that scar down the cheek looks really good. I mean, the hair could maybe use some work, but that's probably, you know, a little bit weird because of the way that they need the hood to still be able to come over his head. But yeah, that definitely looks like Adam Driver to me. You know, maybe if the rolling eyeballs feature was in this head sculpt, it would look even better. But not bad. Really pretty good for an older figure like this. And especially pre-owned. You know, I'm not mad at this figure at all. Because like I said, this is pre-owned. And I got this from my local comic book shop. And yeah, really, it's just the lightsaber, the swap out head sculpt, and, you know, the 2 relaxed hands on the figure. But yeah, the cape, I guess, is magneted, so I could take that cape off if I wanted to. But I think the cape looks pretty good for the moment. So the only other thing would be this head sculpt here would light up, but the batteries weren't in this figure. So unfortunately, I can't light that up. And the batteries that I thought that I had that could have fit into this head sculpt aren't big enough. You know, they're the big boy batteries for this head sculpt. So unfortunately, my KYLO REN won't be able to light up, but that helmet is still pretty cool with all the cracks, and it's like fused together like that, the Japanese pottery. If you guys know, you know. But I mean, it's no Darth Vader head sculpt, but it is a pretty cool mask nonetheless. I think that's exactly what they were going for, though. You know, we need another big bad with a cool mask. So they made Kylo Ren. In the base is just this Star Wars base that looks like a little concrete pad from like the Death Star or something. But you can see Star Wars and Kylo Ren up front there with the trademark signature from Star Wars. So yeah, not too much else going on with this figure. So why don't I toss him into some poses so we can see what this figure is capable of.
Alright everybody, we got Kylo Ren just standing straight up and down just as he comes, fresh out of the box, but I have his masked look and his cape on with his lightsaber hooked on his belt just to complete his look. And then I have the Kylo Ren helmet on with the hilt down by his side, but not yet with the lightsaber out. And his force hand is out in front of him, like he's just freezing somebody, or maybe freezing a blaster shot that's coming towards him. And he has the hood up over the helmet. And then I put on the Adam Driver head sculpt, and he has the scar going down his face, and he has no cape on, but I have the lightsaber all lit up down by his side. But unfortunately, the light up effect that this figure comes with is a part of a whole right arm that swaps out, and for some reason my right arm would not go into the joint in the right like elbow. You know, like it just wouldn't go in, and I have no idea why. But then I have the Kylo Ren helmet back on, and he has his force hand up in front of him, like he's swinging that lightsaber down as well, and he has it like kind of cocked back, like almost over his shoulder, like he's about to use some force to bring it down. But then I have Kylo Ren clashing lightsabers with Darth Vader, and Kylo's like leaning back, trying to avoid this blow as Vader has the high ground and he's swinging down on top of him. And just, you know, the two figures I'm unboxing this weekend interacting with each other. I thought that was a nice little touch to add on at the end here. And it's kind of what, like grandfather and grandson or something like that. Leia's father's, yeah, so it's his grandson is Kylo Ren. But as you can see him standing in front of me here, this is kind of how I think I'm going to pose him, with the lightsaber out in front of him, the mask on, the cloak, and he's got the force hand ready to push somebody back in front of him as well. Or he's like, hey, we don't need to fight. I could just bring you to the dark side. Kind of a bummer, though, that a couple months back we had that rumored Hunt for Ben Solo movie that was in the works with Steven Soderbergh, I believe, and Adam Driver was on board, and they were like going to do this whole, you know, Knights of the Wrens or whatever, and they were going to do this whole Ben Solo movie and bring Kylo back, and they ended up shutting it down. Hopefully that ends up coming back in the future, but I really doubt it. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this figure and on the Star Wars Kylo Ren movies, you know, the sequel trilogy, if you would. I mean, I was always really here for Force Awakens, and every time I watch that movie, it's just so much nostalgia comes back up, and I love the cast and the vibes of that first movie. But The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker were really not great movies. I don't agree with how they did the character of Luke Skywalker, you know, just fundamentally. But there is still some pretty sick visual effects in there, you know, like there's the Millennium Falcon light speed skipping with Poe Dameron. That's a pretty cool scene. There's some pretty cool fight scenes with Kylo and Rey. You know, so those sequel trilogy, although not my favorite, they're still pretty great, and it was awesome to have Star Wars films back in the theaters. So with Mandalorian and Grogu coming up in May, I am ecstatic to get Star Wars back up on the big screen and get to the theaters and see that. Me and my roommate right now are rewatching all of the Mandalorian series to catch him up for that movie. And yeah, it's just been a lot of great Star Wars vibes around the house at the current moment, so I figured do a couple of Hot Toys Star Wars figs for the month of May starting out here, and Monday will be May 4th, so May the 4th be with all of you, and I hope you guys enjoy this Star Wars month, and I think I'm gonna dive right in and make this whole month and my whole personality this month all Star Wars. I say that, but there's also, you know, The Boys coming out right now, and Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is about to end, and Invincible's been out. So there's a lot of other great stuff out too. So, you know, go check out the other videos on the channel. And if you guys are into that type of stuff, I really appreciate it. But if you're here just for the figure unboxings, those are coming every weekend all through 2026. And I've been doing that for as long as I can remember now. So most of 2025, there were figures unboxed every weekend as well. But today, this is it for KYLO REN here, and stay tuned for tomorrow where we have the DX45 Darth Vader battle damage, which is just a sick figure from Hot Toys, and that will be coming out Sunday. And next weekend, there will be some more Star Wars figures unboxed as well, so stay tuned for that, y'all. And if you don't want to miss that, make sure you guys hit the bell so you don't miss future Hot Toys figure unboxings and you get the notification when those come out. But if you made it this far into the video and you would like to support the channel further, the best way of doing that is dropping a like on this video, commenting down in the comment section below, and subscribe if you haven't. Share this video with a friend, hit share, copy link. That's always a great way to support the channel and goes further than you think. But that's it for me, y'all. Once again, my name is Big Cam, and I'll see you gorgeous folks in the next video. Peace.